We want to be known as a cafe that makes really good food and really good coffee. We don't want to be known as that tokenistic cafe that employs people with disabilities. We're trying to normalise what inclusive employment looks like.
When people talk about working in hospitality, it's often thought as a place that welcomes everybody, people with all kinds of skills, backgrounds, experiences and qualities. But is that always the case for people with a disability? What are some of the challenges, the opportunities for people who are working with a disability but, have a passion for hospitality? Our guests today are Bianca Stern and Lloyd Clarke. Bianca runs All Things Equal Cafe. It's a social enterprise cafe in Balaclava in Melbourne, and it provides purposeful award-wage employment in the hospitality industry for people with a disability. It's, just a wonderful concept and a great place. Bianca, we'll start with you. Welcome to Dirty Linen.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
It's great to have you on the show. And, All Things Equals in my neighbourhood. I think it's such a great venue. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So we were established beginning of 2021. We have currently over 50 individuals with disabilities on our wait list who are dying to gain paid employment through us. We started off as just our Balaclava cafe, and as you said, we provide purposeful paid employment training and work readiness for young adults with disability. We to date have employed 25 young adults, which is awesome. We also run another cafe in Windsor in an aged care facility, and we also work with local footy clubs to run their canteens over the season, and a cooking school and a whole bunch of different things. But really the biggest thing is that most of our staff with disability have never actually had the opportunity to have paid employment before. So for us, that is exactly what we're here to do. And our staff absolutely thrive in the environment to the point where we want this place to be a stepping stone for them to find even more mainstream employment, because they've gained all their skills and the expertise through us first.
Yeah, well, I know that, there are so many challenges for people with a disability to find, I guess, well-paid, meaningful work. And, some of the stats that you guys have shared with me show that people living with a disability are twice as likely to be unemployed than someone without a disability, and only 54% of Australians living with a disability are involved in the workforce. So there are obviously a lot of barriers to overcome. What are some of how does it actually work? Like what kinds of challenges do people have that are working there, and how are they supported?
Sure. So we believe that people learn best by working on the job. So, I know that when I went to university and I studied for 4 years to be a teacher, really I learned everything in my first day of my teaching career. It's the same sort of thing here. So we want people to just be, in a really gentle way, sort of be thrown into the deep end, and with all the support and the love and the guidance that they deserve to have, but to be put into a real world where they have real world expectations in a real world environment. So that's essentially, we have people that have a range of disabilities, autism, intellectual disabilities, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, whatever it might be. And we are considered a mainstream workplace. So we actually have, we have a balance between people with employees with disabilities and without, so that it's a space that is normalised and those individuals can get a job somewhere else one day. Then they're very much contributing to the community, very much part of society, engaged in what they're doing, sort of, rather than being in a room and doing a job where they're getting paid, $2 an hour or whatever it might be that we've seen sort of over the last few months.
Yeah. So, how does it work in practice? Are people sort of buddied up with somebody who's able-bodied or working without a disability, or is it, as you say, thrown in the deep end and just do what they can?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a mentor system. So we have a cafe manager, a head chef. We've got other staff as well who very much support the individuals when they're first starting out in their job, and then they continue to. But they sort of, over time, when that individual is learning to be more independent and developing their skills, our staff sort of I guess, move back a little bit to allow that person to really thrive in the environment, which is pretty awesome. Some people will come with a support worker, so they'll bring their own person to support them in the job because they might require a little bit of additional support. But really, there's a whole lot of support that goes on behind the scenes as well to make sure that that person is set up for success with us.
Yeah, I love it. Well, shall we have a chat to Lloyd?
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hi, Lloyd. How's it going?
Good.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
So, I'm 21 years old.
Okay, so you're 21 years old, and tell me about your disability or what your challenges are.
So, some of my challenges are, I would say, it's not really sort of probably probably my main challenge is very loud environment. So, for example, maybe got a barrier is going to an AFL game
where it's very noisy.
Yeah. So another one is, and sort of relating to that, is another reason I don't really go to the AFL anymore because of my medical condition, which is epilepsy. They now have the flashing lights at the footy.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
So I can't really go to the AFL anymore. So if I do go to the footy, I go to watch the BFL.
Okay, and tell me, have you had a job before, or is All Things Equal your first employment?
No paid job.
And so tell me about working at All Things Equal. How did that come about, and what is it like for you?
So at the All Things Equal nursing home cafe in Windsor, my manager, she's very friendly and also helpful. I gave in the resume and fortunately, very luckily, I got a job. Very luckily, I got accepted. There were a few challenges though at the start, I would say. And the main, challenge was, I reckon, even though it was to be safe, having to do the COVID test before, because the worst thing that I was thinking about the whole time I did it was getting there and having it show that it was positive, and meaning that I'd have to just go straight back home and isolate.
Yeah, that would really suck. So, Lloyd, what kinds of things do you do at All Things Equal? Like, what is your job?
So I work at the back of house. I basically just do whatever is asked of me by my manager. Yeah, kitchen hand.
And what do you enjoy about your work, Lloyd?
What do I enjoy that Jen, the manager, doesn't just say it's not the same each week, so she makes it different. And
has it made a big change in your life to have a job?
Yes, it has, because it's nice to sort of have something to look forward to apart from TAFE, because going there 5 days a week is fun. One day off is actually nice because I get paid, and also it relates to the what I'm doing this year, which is getting work ready. So I feel like this is an excellent opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to continuing there, and hope, I'm really enjoying it.
That's so good. So what do you think what is your hope for the future? What do you hope will come out of all this?
I hope that at the moment my shift is from 12 till 2 on a Wednesday. My hope is that it goes for 2 hours more, and I say that because when I first got accepted, that's what I was told.
Great. And what about in the future? Do you hope that you're job ready and you can work in other places?
Yeah, I hope that I am job ready and I can work in other places. So I was thinking maybe because I'm already working at the Windsor site, maybe like Coles Elstonwick. And I say that because it's really close. I also want to be a chef, so I think maybe the plan would be to learn how to be a chef, and maybe like do like a thing where I go to Coles 2 days or 3, and then I do like a bit like how TAFE goes at the moment, where I go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. So what I'm imagining is Wednesday I do go to the nursing cafe at Windsor, and then I extend that.
Good balance.
Yeah, and then to make a good balance with that, good balance. So I'd add Coles and cafe so that I've got some work every day.
Lloyd, is there something that you love cooking or eating? Something that really shows your passion about food?
Well, I do know I love a few things, and I like TikTok tomato and feta pasta. But I suppose that a thing that I think would be really nice that they could include at the menu at either the nursing cafe or here at Balaclava is zucchini fritters, because not only do I really like them, but all of their meals are vegetarian, and I think it's a great vegetarian meal. People would really enjoy it. And what else? Also, I think kale fritters, because kale is really good for you. And maybe some kale and quinoa, a kale and quinoa salad, because quinoa is really healthy.
Yum. Well, I would definitely eat all of those. That all sounds so good, and as you say, so healthy. Lloyd, we'll let you get off to TAFE, but is there anything else that you want to tell us about your work or about your life?
So on Monday afternoon, evening, I take part in the All Things Equal cooking school at Balaclava, and this term we're making Italian, and we managed to have a sweet and savoury. So my favourite I have 2 savoury things that I like. I like eggplant parmigiana and the garlic bread, and I also like the chocolate tiramisu.
Yeah, awesome. They all sound so good as well. Yeah, thanks so much for chatting to us today, Lloyd. It's really awesome to get to know you a bit, and I'll see you at the cafe.
Yes. See ya.
Hey, Bianca.
Hello.
My goodness, I mean, so great to chat to Lloyd. What a star. And
Absolute star, yes.
What difference do you see this employment making in the lives of people like Lloyd?
Honestly, it provides so much more than just a paid job. There's a sense of purpose. Someone can go home to their family, and when their family are talking about their job and what they did that day, our staff get to take part of that as well. It provides them with overall greater independence, self-confidence, ability to contribute to community, for people to know that they are incredibly capable. It's a resume builder. There is so much more than just the paid employment that sort of people assume.
And what are some of the pathways? I mean, have you had people that you've worked with there or at the other venues that have gone on to employment in other places?
We have. So we have supported one of our staff members to get a job at a local school's canteen, and he works there full time. We've also supported one of our staff to get a job in a local footy club as the grounds manager during their footy season, and we've also supported someone else to get a job within aged care.
That's so awesome. I mean, hospitality is in this ongoing staffing crisis. Do you think that looking to people who do have a disability but can be trained could be part of the solution?
100%. I think that is what we are trying to prove, and we're really trying to spark dialogue around this because our staff are incredibly capable. They're willing, they're committed to working, and they do a really good job at it. In most cases, because adults with disabilities don't often get these opportunities, when they are put into paid employment opportunities, they actually are harder workers than some of their able-bodied staff, their colleagues. So 100% when they can develop their skills in a place like All Things Equal, or even a more mainstream place where they can really be mentored and put in a position to thrive, they just need their first foot in their door, their first step towards work readiness and being within a proper real world environment. And once that's happened, I genuinely do believe that they can be the answer to this crisis that every cafe right now is seeing. And I think it's pretty interesting because on Carla Street, where our main hub is, in Balaclava, every single cafe is now hiring, and whereas we've got 50 people on our wait list who are dying to get a job.
Yeah, that is quite extraordinary. So, I mean, what are the barriers or the difficulties like that stop mainstream employers taking on some of these people? Is it the attitude? Is it practicalities? I mean, I guess it's never going to be one size fits all, as it never is with people, generally. I mean, what are some of the blocks to employing more people like Lloyd?
I think what you mentioned are definitely factors. I think perhaps the biggest one is just maybe a lack of education or a lack of knowledge around what inclusive employment looks like and what it can look like, and the fact that people with disabilities are genuinely capable to be in the workplace and to do an incredible job as per their neurotypical colleagues. But yes, perhaps it's they don't have the right people to support or guide those individuals. Maybe there's an attitude factor to it. But honestly, guaranteed, if every single cafe that's currently looking for staff employed one person with disability, A, that our community would be a much better place, but B, the morale, the staff morale, the customer morale, everything else would be boosted. At least that's what we've experienced in our space.
What's the feeling like there?
It is, we like to say that we want people to enter our cafes with a smile and leave with an even bigger one. We want it to be like a big warm hug when you walk in. Our Balaclava cafe is a bright yellow cafe, so I think naturally you walk in and there's a bit of happiness before you've even entered.
I love it. And Bianca, what's brought you to this work?
I've got a deep passion for the disability and the non-profits and social impact space in general, but a lot of our staff with disabilities are actually friends of mine. And, when I was younger, I had every opportunity under the sun to gain paid employment, and all of a sudden a lot of my friends with disabilities haven't had that opportunity, and I know that there was something that I had to do about that. So I got involved. Of course, there's an incredible team that I work with who are helping to start this up, and we are very grassroots. grassroots. So there is so much potential for what we can be doing, and I think that's what sort of keeps me around, is that I'm incredibly excited about what we can be doing. And for every other, as you mentioned, that statistic that there are, over 54% of people with disabilities who aren't in paid employment, that statistic upsets me so much that I can't not do something about that.
Wow. It's so inspiring, and so great to connect with you and with Lloyd. Is there anything else that you'd like the listeners to know?
I think, come into our cafes, come check them out, come see what we do in action. We want to be known as a cafe that makes really good food and really good coffee. We don't want to be known as that tokenistic cafe that employs people with disabilities. We're trying to normalise what inclusive employment looks like. So come check out our place, because we make good food and good coffee. And if you happen to leave with a bit more of a smile or a bit more patience than when you walked in, that's, of course, a huge bonus for us as well.
I love it. Bianca, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I'll see you down at All Things Equal.
Thank you so much.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinenat deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.